Recently, Jio Cinemas got the rights to stream IPL for a whopping 2.7 billion rupees, and it's also going to make it free on its app. If you are a cricket fan, this may sound like amazing news, but as a consumer, you may not be this happy in the long run. In this episode of the Indian Billionaire Scope, we are going to tell you why. You're really living under a rock if you aren't familiar with the Reliance story. But if you actually aren't, the movie Guru may be a good starting point. Or you can watch this video we made. From a petrol pump attendant in Yemen to the behemoth that it is today, Dhirubhai really built Reliance Industries Limited from down up. And it is also a classic example of spotting And with this, he created a data revolution. He initiated the next billions of Indians to smartphones and the internet and got them hooked onto it. When he launched Jio in 2016, I still remember how people were going crazy to get their hands on a Jio SIM. But even then, it left me thinking, how is Reliance managing to pull such a big feat? Everything free does come at a price. With the deep pockets that Reliance has built over the years, it could fund early losses and offer free services to millions of customers. But in doing so, it basically triggered a telecom price war and crushed all the other competitors. Once their competitors were nowhere in the picture, they gradually started charging customers. And now that Indians were hooked to the internet, they paid up. During the COVID-19 lockdown, Ambani raised over $20 billion by selling a third of Jio to a string of investors such as Facebook and Google. Today, Jio has more than 420 million subscribers and is already readying to launch 5G services. This is how Reliance built a telecom monopoly and now is using Jio to expand into other sectors of the Indian economy. With Jio, it is connecting businesses and consumers. Providing end-to-end JioMart services on WhatsApp is one such example of how it's doing this. Reliance is also entering the retail space in a big way. Reliance Retail runs the country's largest network of brick and mortar stores with around 17,225 sites, and it sells everything from groceries to electronics. But here, instead of building something from scratch, they are on an acquisition spree. In 2022, Reliance Retail announced that it would enter into the fast-moving consumer goods market. It already owns about 24 consumer goods brands. Just in time for the summer heat, Reliance Retail relaunched Campa Cola, a soft drink popular in the 1970s and the 1980s. And with this, they have sounded the clarion call to compete with giants like ITC and Unilever. Wherever Reliance or Mukesh Ambani sets foot, their goal is to dominate that sector, even if that comes at the cost of displacing competition. It now has its mind set on new energy, and as early as 2021, they acquired a bunch of companies, including SenseHawk Inc., Faradion and REC Solar Holdings AS to further their vision of generating solar energy and sodium-ion batteries. In some ways, they are going back to their roots by investing Rs 75,000 crore towards establishing a new energy manufacturing ecosystem in Jamnagar, the very same place where they started their first refinery. They also plan to establish a 20 gigawatt solar energy plant by 2025 and a 100 gigawatt plant by 2030. Mukesh Ambani, who chairs and runs Reliance Industries, does not plan on retiring anytime soon. But unlike his father Dhirubhai, Mukesh has clearly mapped out his succession plan by splitting his empire into 3 units centered around digital services, retail and energy. Akash will inherit digital services, Isha is already making her mark in retail, and Anand will expand the new energy business. Ambani and his family also own a number of news outlets like the Network 18 Group, oversee a school and a hospital, and run the Mumbai Indians IPL team. A lot of Indians idealize the Ambanis, but there is a huge difference in being a market leader and being the only player in the market. This monopoly that Ambani is building in every possible sector will be detrimental for common Indians like you and me. Quashing competition will bring an end to competitive prices. With a lot of things in the control of the Ambanis, consumers won't be able to do much other than adhere to the prices set by them. If the prices are too high, people may stop buying, and that will affect production. This will lead to an inefficient allocation of resources in the market and thereby the economy. Also, driving competitors out of the business or standing in the way of new entrants can also cause significant harm to business households, who will be forced to shut down. Where does that leave all the emerging startups that have so much potential to drive India's growth? What do you think about Reliance and the Ambani monopoly? Will small businesses survive? Or will every new innovation be acquired under one banner? Tell us in the comments. And don't forget to like, share and subscribe to Mashable India for more.